In this episode, we're talking about something that your doctor will likely dismiss, and that's what your libido says about your hormones and fertility potential. Welcome to the Finally Get Pregnant Naturally podcast, the podcast helping women identify the real reasons you haven't conceived or stayed pregnant, so you and your partner can finally grow the family of your dreams. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. Let's dive in, shall we? The 3 things you'll learn in today's episode: how your libido acts as a fertility vital sign, the real root causes of low libido, and the key labs that uncover what's actually blocking desire and fertility when everything looks normal on standard testing. What your libido says about your hormones and fertility. Let's talk about it. So, today we're going to be talking about something that does not get nearly enough attention in the fertility space, and that is your libido. Our libido really isn't just about sex drive, it's about our hormones, metabolism, nervous system safety, and fertility readiness. And when libido is low, inconsistent, or just completely MIA, it's not a personal failing on your part, but it is giving you information. And I know from personal experience and also just listening to women in my community and then also my clients, I often hear that they are experiencing low libido and sometimes also their partners. So this episode is really more geared towards women, but honestly, it can be coming from both sides. So libido is one of your fertility vital signs because in a healthy, fertile body, libido is biologically meant to naturally rise around ovulation. And when we're finding that that desire is completely flat, maybe it's just disconnected from your cycle and it's not really happening around your fertile window, or it could just be completely non-existent. This is often meaning that the body is prioritizing survival over reproduction. So your body is not going to invest in reproduction, in procreating, if it doesn't feel safe, well-nourished, rested, and regulated. So low libido can actually be an early warning sign that something deeper is going on. So let's talk about what a healthy libido usually tells us. So a healthy libido generally reflects balanced estrogen and testosterone levels, which are important for fertility, which then can lead to adequate progesterone post-ovulation, which we know many of us are struggling with low progesterone levels, a healthy thyroid and metabolism, stable blood sugar, and of course, a regulated nervous system. And I don't want you to put more pressure on yourself. This absolutely does not mean that you have to feel in the mood 24/7, but there should be a natural cyclical desire, especially around your luteal phase. So if that's missing, you should be asking why. So that leads us into root causes of low libido that can also impact your fertility. So these are a lot of the ones that I'm seeing clinically in my clients. Number 1 is nervous system dysregulation. So libido requires us to be in our parasympathetic nervous system. So that is being in a rest and receive mode. And when we have chronic stress, trauma, pressure to conceive, emotional burnout, this keeps our body stuck in a fight or flight mode. And when your body is stuck in that mode, our libido is going to shut down. It's going to go on the back burner. So some action steps you can take is shift yourself from doing to receiving daily. So even a few minutes a day is going to matter. And these are things that honestly, if you have been living your life, especially the majority of your adult life, doing, this can actually be really hard to do and even understand how to do. So this is one of the core pieces I do in terms of supporting my clients. So this could look like prioritizing slower evenings, dimming the light after sundown, and definitely including screen reduction at nighttime. You can add in breath work, somatic practices, or gentle embodiment practices, especially in your luteal phase when you're feeling a little bit more introspective, and just generally releasing the pressure around timing intercourse perfectly when possible. And you'll find that your libido will return when your body feels safe and not so forced and pressured. Number two is low estrogen or poor estrogen signaling. So, if you're experiencing low estrogen, this can result in dryness, in vaginal dryness, lack of desire, or poor ovulatory signaling. Estrogen is meant to help drive arousal, blood flow, and promote healthy, fertile cervical fluid. So, some action steps you can take is ensure you're eating enough fats and complex carbohydrates to support your hormone production. And you can support your estrogen metabolism through your gut and liver health as well. Reducing exposure to endocrine disruptors like in plastics, fragrances, pesticides. Tracking your cycle to confirm that estrogen is rising before ovulation. And you can also track other patterns of estrogen within your cycle because estrogen will thrive in a well-nourished, low inflammatory environment. So number three is low testosterone. This is a super common one that I see, ladies. Low testosterone can lead to low libido, of course, fatigue, reduced motivation, like you just can't really get yourself to do the things that you know you should be doing, and also poor follicle development. So things like chronic stress, undereating, over-exercising, and even birth control can all suppress testosterone production. So even if you were on birth control previously, that could be impacting you later on down the road. So some action steps you can take. Stop chronically undereating or following restrictive diets. And this is something that I often see in clients that are coming to work with me. Reducing excessive cardio or high intensity workouts. Sometimes they can be okay in the follicular ovulatory phase, but once you get to the luteal phase, it really is best to scale that back. You want to do some strength training gently and intentionally throughout your cycle, and prioritizing sleep and recovery, and of course, addressing chronic stress and adrenal depletion because testosterone will drop when the body perceives that it is being underfueled and overworked. Number four is blood sugar and metabolic stress. If you are experiencing unstable blood sugar, that can signal famine to the body, and then it's going to shut down fertility. Unstable blood sugar can suppress ovulation, progesterone, and libido. So if you're a woman who isn't hungry in the morning, you are crashing midday, you rely on caffeine often, you may have suppressed metabolic signaling, and libido is going to be one of the first things to go because it's not at the top of the priority list. So some action steps you can take are eating within an hour of waking. Even if your appetite is low, try to get something in. You want to make sure that you're balancing your meals with quality protein, healthy fats, complex carbs, and minerals. You want to avoid long fasting windows or skipping meals when you're trying to conceive. And of course, reducing our caffeine reliance, especially on an empty stomach. And just remember, a fed body is a fertile one. And when you're fertile, your body can evoke those natural desire signals within your fertility window. Number five is thyroid dysfunction. So both hypo and hyperthyroid states can reduce libido. Even subclinical thyroid dysfunction can decrease desire, vaginal lubrication, and hormone receptor sensitivity. And thyroid health is honestly foundational for your reproductive drive because it sets the pace for metabolism, hormones, and libido. So some action steps you can take are looking beyond just TSH. Oftentimes, that's all that your doctor is going to test. Support your thyroid function with adequate calories and then nutrients like iodine, selenium, and iron. You want to reduce inflammation and chronic stress, address your gut health, which directly impacts thyroid conversion. And you'll often find that your libido improves when your metabolic pace normalizes. So, number 6, last but not least, gut health and inflammation. Your gut impacts libido through hormone metabolism, estrogen clearance, nutrient absorption, and immune signaling. Chronic gut inflammation raises cortisol, lowers sex hormones, including progesterone and testosterone. Many women with low libido are also reporting bloating, reflux, constipation, and food sensitivities, and oftentimes experiencing things like that. That doesn't necessarily put you in the mood either. So, some action steps you can take: you want to address the bloating, the reflux, the constipation, and your food sensitivities. You absolutely want to identify and treat any infections or dysbiosis present in the gut, and in turn, that will improve your nutrient absorption and support bile flow and your estrogen clearance. This is something that I am heavily focusing on with my clients. And pretty much in 100% of my clients, we are finding some sort of gut dysbiosis, if not H. pylori, and other things when we're testing the gut. Because at the end of the day, your hormones cannot thrive in an inflamed internal environment. Why does libido drop off so often in the fertility journey? Outside of all those other things and reasons that we just discussed, trying to conceive and being on that journey for a very long time can unintentionally turn sex and intimacy into a task, something to check off your to-do list, a scheduled obligation. And oftentimes this can feel like a pressure-filled experience, especially on the male partner, is what I'm often hearing. And this emotional stress alone can suppress desire, and it doesn't evoke feelings of safety and groundedness in the body. And your body isn't going to respond to pressure. It's going to respond to that safety that we so often talk about. So, some labs to consider if your libido is low and you've been struggling with fertility. Now, I do want to be clear here: labs don't replace you listening to your body's signs and symptoms, but they can confirm patterns and help guide support. So if your libido is low, these are just a few of the labs I would be looking at when working with clients. So early in the follicular phase, we want to look at things like estradiol, testosterone, DHEAS. We want to run a full thyroid panel, fasting glucose, and insulin, possibly looking at your cortisol awakening response, and a comprehensive stool test. So today we talked about why your libido isn't just about sex drive. It's actually a powerful message from your body. Low libido often reflects deeper imbalances in the nervous system, hormones, metabolism, thyroid, or gut health. And those same imbalances can quietly block your fertility. And when we stop forcing desire and start supporting the body with nourishment, safety, regulation, and the right testing, your libido can return naturally and fertility improves right alongside it. So I just want you to take a step back, take a breath. If this is something that you've been experiencing, and I imagine it has been a big frustration as a part of your journey. Low libido is not something to just push through or force so you can get pregnant. It's something to recognize and listen to. Because when your libido improves, that means that hormones are communicating properly. Your nervous system feels safer, your metabolism is supported, and your fertility is coming back online. And just remember, low libido isn't a failure, it's just a clue, a puzzle piece to your fertility picture. If this is something that you have been struggling with and you have not received any answers or solutions from your doctor, you're ready to have some clarity, and you really want to know what is going on underneath. You want to know why you have low libido, why you've been struggling to get pregnant, and you want to know the exact next steps personalized for you to boost your fertility now. Head down to my show notes, book your free fertility strategy call, and we will map out your next personalized plan to help you grow the family of your dreams, because you should not have to go through this alone and trying things, guessing. on what you should do. And really, that's just wasting your time, your money, and your energy. So head to the link in the show notes and book your free call. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on our next episode on Thursday, which is going to be a very special Valentine's Day edition, and you don't want to miss it. I'll see you there. Are you ready to finally discover why you haven't been able to get or stay pregnant? The Ultimate Fertility Blueprint is a quick, insightful quiz designed to reveal your overall capacity to conceive and help you discover potential root causes and areas to address to improve your fertility so you can finally get and stay pregnant. You'll find the link in the show notes. As a quick reminder and disclaimer, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. Always consult your doctor or healthcare provider before starting any new supplement or protocol, especially if you're actively trying to conceive or undergoing treatment.